Hi kids, welcome back to Math TV. I am Britsenia. Today we will be working on making a couple of beautiful color wheels. We will be exploring color as an element of art. More exactly, we will be learning about color theory. Color theory is the science and art of using color. It explains how we perceive color, and it also explains a collection of rules and guidelines which artists use to communicate through appealing color schemes. Some elements of color theory include hue, saturation, and value. Hue refers to where a color is located on our color wheel. Saturation refers to the intensity of a color. And value refers to how light or dark a color is on a white to black scale. So let's go ahead and start working on our color wheels. The materials that we will need for this activity are paint in the colors of red, yellow, and blue, a couple of plastic cups or any containers that we could use to mix in paint, color pencils, markers, a pencil, a couple of paint brushes, any container that could serve us to go ahead and trace our circles, so any container with a base between 6 to 8 inches, and paper or cardstock. Our optional materials are napkins and a measuring spoon. Before we start, let me go ahead and explain to you what a color wheel is. A color wheel is a circular arrangement of colors organized by the chromatic relationship to one another. So right here we see our primary colors first, which are red, blue, and yellow. And then we're going to go ahead and introduce our secondary colors, which are purple, green, and orange. We call these secondary colors because they are a combination of two primary colors. So we need blue and yellow to make green, just as much as we need red and yellow to make orange, and we need red and blue to make purple. Our first to third graders will be working on making a turtle color wheel. Our fourth to sixth graders will be working on making a hot air balloon color wheel. Seventh to eighth graders will be working on making this dream catcher. Since both groups, the first to third and fourth to sixth graders will be working with paint, we will begin by mixing in the colors that they will need. We're going to go ahead and grab our primary colors first. So remember, our primary colors are blue, yellow, and red. So remember, primary means that all other colors derive or stem from these colors. We're going to grab our pot, and we're going to go ahead and begin mixing our paints. Now, I'm using a teaspoon, but you guys can use any spoons. Just remember that in order to make our secondary colors, we need to mix equal parts, so the same amount of our two primary colors. So we're going to go ahead and start by mixing red and yellow. I have my first combination, red and yellow, and I'm going to go ahead and start mixing that. Here we have our orange. And now we have our color green. So this is how my purple looks. So now we just made purple, green, and orange. Now we could go ahead and start painting our color wheels. The first color wheel that we will start working on is our turtle color wheel. This is recommended for grades 1st to 3rd. So to start this activity, we're going to go ahead and grab our cardstock or our sheet of paper. And we're going to go ahead and grab our lid or Tupperware, and we're going to place that right in the center of our sheet. And we're going to grab our pencil and gently trace around the edge of our lid or container. We just want to go ahead and make a circle. Once that is done, we're going to set it aside. We're going to grab a ruler and we're going to draw a line across the center of our circle. So there we have our circle, our wheel, to start us off. Then we're going to go ahead and do a head for our turtle. Alright, so now we're right here and we're going to begin our painting. So we're going to go ahead and start painting our turtle with our primary colors. Do you guys remember what those are? Yes, so it's going to be red, blue, and yellow. So one section of my turtle's back is going to be red. And we're going to go ahead and paint it. Since we finished our red, now we're going to go ahead and paint our blue section. However, we're going to go ahead and skip one of these sections. So we want to go ahead and paint one section, skip one section, paint one section, skip, paint, and then skip. So our primary colors would go, our red one would go here, our blue would go right here, and our yellow would go right here, leaving a space in between each of them. Now it's time to go ahead and reach for our yellow color. Alright, so now that we painted our primary colors, we're going to go ahead and introduce our secondary colors. Do you guys remember what those are? Yes, so it's orange, green, and purple. So we're going to go ahead and start right here. So that is our secondary color that is made up of red and blue. So that would be purple. All right. Our next secondary color would be right in between blue and yellow. So if we mix blue and yellow, we get green. Alright, now our last color would be between red and yellow. So red and yellow make orange. There you guys have it. This is our color wheel. We're going to go ahead and let it dry. You guys could go ahead and color the face and the feet any color that you guys wish and decorate around it. I would put it in some water maybe, paint a little bit of blue, or if you want it on land, a little bit of brown on the sides. So this is our turtle color wheel, and let's go ahead and move on to the next one. Our second activity is our hot air balloon. It is recommended for grades 4th through 6th. To start this activity, we're going to go ahead and grab our sheet of paper or our cardstock, and we're going to get our container, and we're going to go ahead and place it towards the top of the paper, and we're going to go ahead and trace around it, creating our circle. Once we have our circle, we're going to go ahead and draw a line across it, trying to center it as much as possible. So I'm going to go ahead and make sure that every line goes through the center point of my circle, just so that they all meet at one point. I'm going to try to make each section as even as possible to the rest of them. Alright, and there we have our 6 sections for our 6 colors. Now I'm going to go ahead and draw the basket at the bottom. Once it is all traced, I'm going to go ahead and start coloring my color wheel. We're going to go ahead and start coloring it with our primary colors. And now I'm going to go ahead and color the section right across from red, which would be its complementary color. Complementary colors are pairs of colors that contrast with each other. They are often opposites to each other on the color wheel. So if in one end I have red, the color straight across from it would be green. So that would be its complementary color. So we went ahead and I colored our color wheel. Now I'm going to go ahead and grab a color pencil. So there you have it, guys. This is our hot air balloon and our color wheel. So your finished product should look something like this. You could also add some clouds around it, just so that it looks like it's on the sky. Now let's go ahead and move on to our last activity. So for our third activity, we're going to be making these dream catcher color wheels. We're going to be coloring them using our primary colors only. So we're going to use yellow, red, and blue. To start, we're going to go ahead and grab our bowl, and we're going to go ahead and place it towards the top section of our paper. We're going to go ahead and trace it, making a circle all around. Now we're going to set it aside and grab our ruler. We're going to go ahead and center that as best as we can and make a line right across. And we're going to try to find a center point as best as possible. So we could go ahead and make lines passing through that center point, making each space as equal as we can. Now we're going to go ahead and grab our marker and trace over the large circle. We're going to make a center, just a big period, and we're going to make another circle over it, kind of the size of a quarter. And then we're going to go ahead and start making some shapes right here. It kind of looks like a leaf. And we're going to go ahead and overlap these, one over the other. And we're going to go ahead and do this all around our paper. Now we're going to go ahead and make a couple of strings where our feathers are going to go ahead and dangle. I'm going to get my pencil so I can modify my feathers in case I want to. I'm going to do 3 beads and then my feather. I already have my feathers and I went ahead and I added my warm colors. My warm colors are yellow, orange, and red. Warm colors are typically associated with heat and the emotion of anger. And on the other side, I'm going to go ahead and start adding my cool colors. So I'm going to go ahead and do purple. So to make purple, I'm going to start with red as the base. I'm making it light because I need to go ahead and overlap it with the blue. We want equal parts, so we're going to be alternating from one pencil to the other until we get a shade of purple. The next color is my blue. So remember, right next to purple, we have blue because blue and red make purple. For the last section, we're going to go ahead and make our green. We are going to start with our yellow first because we always want to start with the lightest base, and then we're going to go ahead and add our blue. I went ahead and I added my cool colors. I added green, blue, and purple. Cool colors are often associated with colds and ice and feelings of sadness or calmness. Now I'm going to go ahead and color my feathers. I'm going to use my primary colors. So I'm going to start with blue. Also, we could see that in our color wheel we have our analogous colors. Analogous colors are a group of 3 colors that are next to each other on the color wheel. So any 3 colors on our color wheel that are next to each other are considered analogous colors. We see green, yellow, and orange, or we see orange, red, and purple. Those are the patterns that we see, and there are analogous colors. So go ahead and stay tuned for our discussion questions, okay guys? Now that we've finished our color wheels, I have a couple questions for you. The first question is, what are the primary colors? Yes, that's right. Our primary colors are blue, red, and yellow. Our second question is, what are our secondary colors? That's right. Our secondary colors are green, orange, and purple. Do you guys remember how do we get secondary colors? Yes, we get secondary colors by mixing equal parts of any 2 primary colors. Now our last question is, what is an example of complementary colors? You're right, red and green. Our complementary colors are straight across from each other on our color wheels. So we have red and green, blue and orange, and yellow and purple. I hope you guys enjoyed this activity. And if you guys have any pictures or videos of your color wheels, go ahead and send them to map@cityofmontclair.org. Bye!